Hey guys, it's Christy here from Mytris Consulting, and we are back with another STEM Talk Saturday, the STEM Professional Series. So I'm so excited that you guys have been joining us the first Saturday of every month. I love to do these. I love to network and just advocate for STEM with other STEM professionals and particularly brown and Black people because we are highly underrepresented in the industry. And I just want to show you guys that we are out here, we're doing our thing and making a difference. So without further ado, I am going to turn it over to my special guest today, Mr. Oneil Barnaby.
It was really good, y'all. Nice to be here. Thank you for having me, Christina. I really appreciate you bringing me onto this platform. So once again, my name is Mr. Oneil Barnaby. I am the founder and director of the Black Math Academy, where we teach and tutor mathematics in just about every area you can think of. Elementary school, middle school, high school, college, business, economics, entrepreneurship, anything that has to do with math, we definitely help you out. Standardized tests as well. So those of you trying to get into college, we do that. And other standardized tests too, GRE, GED, ASVAB, all of them included. And as a side benefit for those who are trying to get into college specifically to do athletics, or as a side thing for sports, I definitely have knowledge of that because I was a track athlete recruited to do Division I track and field. Don't believe me? Just Google my name. You'll definitely find some things when it comes to that. And our mission is to rebuild intelligent Black society through mathematics. So that is the way it's going to be done.
That is so awesome. Y'all see, I be having some bombs. Yes. Like I didn't even know all that with the SAT GRE. Man, when I tell you I have so many referrals for you, your company, like my mind was like, thinking of all the people who are always asking me about tutors. I'm good at math, but I'm not good at tutoring. And there is a difference.
Agreed.
So, and I'm sure you know that. So yeah, I'm definitely going to be sending some folks your way. A lot of people, because those standardized tests, man, it's not what you know, it's really how well you test. So that's awesome. And the track, I'm going to check that out as well. So yeah, you got to check it out. So I love to ask my guests. It's kind of like what's the movie Brown Sugar when they always say, when did you first fall in love with hip hop?
Yeah.
So my first question is, when did you first fall in love with STEM?
Probably in kindergarten, actually. You know how in elementary school, or in schools in general, where you have those, you get your report card and they tell you how well you're doing in mathematics and in reading. Are you below grade level, on grade level, or above grade level? And I was consistently above grade level in mathematics. And seeing how well it's used in everyday, activities. I can't think of any area where it's not related. So I make it a point to teach people that. That was one thing I noticed growing up, that people would always say that I don't know when I'm going to use math, and I don't really need it. Why do I have to learn this thing? And I'm like, well, it's more than you think. So what you should be saying is that you really don't know where it's used, not that you're never going to use it. So I fell in love with mathematics way back in kindergarten, 5 or 6-year-old little boy.
That's awesome, man. Most of my guests, it's the same story. Same for me. I've always loved math and science, but I didn't know that I wanted to do science, chemistry until about 11th grade. I had a really amazing teacher. He was a guy. And to this day, we're still cool. And I always just give him props for the career path that I took. And again, representation is very important. So did your parent, go ahead.
If you don't mind me asking about that, is this that teacher you had, was he Black?
He was Black.
Oh, okay.
He was Black.
The first one you had? First Black teacher?
No, No, I had a Black, but they were Black women. I had a Black woman, biology, 9th grade. I had a really amazing math teacher in 6th and 7th grade, Mr. Hunter. I forgot the biology teacher's name. I feel bad, but the chemistry teacher's name was Mr. Lambert, and he was also like a craftsman.
Yeah.
So he would make us these awards out of wood, and I have, like you said, you always excelled at math. Everybody just called me like a brown noser because I had over 100 awards. And you're talking about one academic year because he just made it so fun. I just loved it. I won student of the year, obviously. I still have all of them. And my dad is like, you got to come get these.
Yeah, he built them too? All 100 of them? Yo.
And not just me. Other students won as well. Man, he was He's amazing. Like anyway, so but I wanted to follow up a question on that. So did your parents, like once they realized that you were good, did you tell them and did they, put you in math camps or, really like hone in on your math, your love for math?
A few here and there. There was one science camp that involved mathematics that I went to for a couple of years. That was great. Mostly it was more like household things, like going to the store and calculating change or how much the bill would be when we bought groceries, how long it would take to walk from home to the library and back, like stuff like that. Yeah. And it kind of came to me pretty quick. I could easily calculate it.
You can like just yell it off.
Yeah. So
but that's important, and that just shows how it translates to real life. So when people ask you that, yeah.
Mm-hmm. So there's your proof positive.
Yeah, that's awesome. My dad did stuff like that too. He'd make us walk to my grandmother's house and how many miles, how many kilometers? I'm like, man, can we get in this car?
Yeah, can I get some money for it though? Like for real?
No, he did that for exercise. But like I do the grocery store thing, I vividly remember because my dad is very frugal. So he would be like, you better come out here with the right change. So it was kind of that type of thing. And it's teaching responsibility too. So math is included in all of that. So I love it. So my next question is, what area of STEM do you represent? But you kind of touched on that already. I mean, obviously, but did you like any other areas of STEM in school?
All the other ones, actually. Since math is effectively a science, it has its hooks into the other letters within that acronym. So I was a big science guy as well. I did take a few tech ed courses or shop classes, as you call them. Definitely enjoyed that, applying mathematics to that. Engineering, not so much. I would probably say it was more linked to physics.
Okay.
In that sense, I wish I took more physics classes in school. I started to focus on just kind of the theoretical and the abstract mathematics itself.
Yes.
But yeah, definitely the mathematics is one thing that I do, and it's obviously related to them.
That's awesome. And I want to let you know you're my first math guest.
Okay.
Yeah. I have some friends that are math teachers and all these things, but they just be, I'm like, come on, get on the platform.
Yeah, they stressed or what's up?
They're like, I don't do interviews. I'm like, would you be so great and you're so awesome? But yeah, hopefully this interview will inspire them because they'll see like, man, he's out here doing his thing. So
I hope so too.
And I have a friend who actually just started like a math tutoring business. So
sounds great. Yeah, I remember that feeling when I first started opening this thing, and I was wondering how much I had to talk about myself and speaking to other people and public speaking itself. I was afraid of that. Who wants to hear my story? Who wants to know about me? But adding that to the program really made it relatable to everybody. They could see that I was just like them. My report cards were good, but I still had some bad grades here and there. They could relate to that. Or I was an athlete, so they could relate to that. I had a few girlfriends, so the fellas could relate to that. Things like that.
Yeah, no, it's important, and especially now with the social media age, people want to be able to relate to you. You can't hide behind your business anymore. Not today.
That's true.
So today, are you into like coding or anything?
I wish. No, I definitely encourage my students to do that. So the ones who are, I ask them a few questions about it so I can get gamed up on it and then just encourage other people, point them in the right direction. I did take some programming classes in high school and in college, but things have changed since then. There's new languages and I'm a bit behind when it comes
every year.
Yeah. So whenever I get an opportunity to learn from someone else, I definitely take that opportunity and just share it with anybody who comes on, who signs up for the Black Math Academy. That if they're interested in coding, check this out. Follow this fellow or read this language, YouTube this.
That's awesome. I love that. So I'm going to change up my questions a little bit. So are you full-time entrepreneur or do you do 9 to 5 and your business?
9 to 5 and my business. The goal is to get the business to become 9 to 5. So it's part-time really. Awesome. So I have a gig in the morning and I do this in the afternoon.
Okay. So that's same way. So with that being said, I guess I can ask you, what position do you hold now, like in your career, your 9 to 5, and how long have you been in that role?
I work for the post office. I've been there for 8 years now, and I've been doing tutoring for a total of 7 years. I started my own company 3 years ago.
Gotcha. So you didn't want to do like math for your career necessarily?
Say it one more time.
You didn't want to like pursue math as a career, like being a teacher or?
Okay, I did when I was in college. It was very difficult to actually do that, being that I was a track athlete.
Mm-hmm.
Having to do a lot of the shadowing that you have to do to get one, it was very difficult to do. I didn't have a car, so that it was hard. And when I graduated, that was an option. I did think about that. Um, it's kind of strange because I was living in Brooklyn at the time,
Mm-hmm.
and when I graduated, they switched chancellors. For those that don't know, it's like a superintendent for most of them.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, they switched chancellors, and all of a sudden, you start hearing these news reports about some of the not infidelity, but the inappropriate behavior teachers and students were having with one another. It was like almost every week. I'm like, okay, I want to avoid that at all costs, but I still want to teach though. Like I like mathematics. I want to be able to be in that realm.
Mm-hmm.
So doing my own thing was the next best option. And it gives me carte blanche to do as I see fit. I'm not restricted by the guidelines of the public school system or whatever system I happen to be in.
Right.
And I can do what I need to that will definitely benefit the students as they need.
Yeah, that's awesome. But you can also do like consulting. I mean, just, for school boards, helping with curriculum, like those things are important to be at the table.
That's true. In relation to that, when I first started the company, I got some feedback from the name. I put some names out there on my Facebook page and just asked them, what y'all think? And when I chose the Black Math Academy specifically, I got pushback against that, probably because of the word black in it. So, and along with another company who's been Urban Intellectuals, who has a math program that they've been pushing in West Virginia. This lady opened it up and she got pushback immediately because of what it's called, this Black oriented mathematics program. Black Genius is what she called it.
Mm-hmm.
And they didn't
I've heard of that.
Oh, you have? Okay.
Yes.
I wish I remember the lady's name. I think
her name escapes me, but I've definitely seen Black Geniuses on social media.
Okay.
For sure.
So I had the same response she did, that just people are just kind of pushing against it without actually doing research on it. Just the name in and of itself bothers them.
Mm-hmm.
And in all reality, that's fine with me. I just want to, aggregate the people who want to be.
Exactly.
They'll get a dose of mathematics as well as blackness too, assuming you want to learn about it. And clearly they don't.
Right. And, that's their loss, to be honest, just to be frank, you know what I mean? And it's like, you're going to shine and you're going to meet the people that you need to meet and do what you need to do regardless. So, and to kind of piggyback on the teaching thing, at one point I wanted to teach. I really loved environmental health, and that's like the career I'm in now. But it's just so many like regulations and stipulations, and especially depending on the state that you're in. So yeah, I eventually I will do it because I put it on my goal list to do it. But yeah, and teachers, especially with the pandemic, need to pay teachers more, treat them better.
Are those regulations in the way? Like, are they like true barriers?
Not necessarily. It's just like extra hoops that I don't have time for.
Gotcha.
Yeah, because of other obligations and just things I have going on.
Okay.
So that's it. But it's not really, So that's the real question.
Cool. Yeah, just curious.
Yeah. So what are some of the and I guess this would be like a two-sided question because I usually ask like my STEM career folks, like what are some of the things they like most about their career and what's something they like least about it. But I guess you can talk about it from your business.
Sure. So what I like most about it is that this subject is related to everything. So I can literally plug myself in any field that needs it. So like you mentioned the word consulting, which is effectively what I'm doing. Someone else who needs help with a problem in their business, you can just holler at me. I'd be like to help you out. Some of the I guess the one least thing I suppose I don't like about it is the amount of people who tell me that they don't need it. Like there's this pushback against knowing this particular subject. I would imagine because it's not an easy one. The higher you go up the ladder, it does get tough. I'm not going to front. But putting that work in and becoming someone who masters this subject and all the other letters in STEM puts you in a position where you get to dictate the rules. No one can tell you anything. As a matter of fact, there's no one coming to you. So you can charge whatever you want to charge, you can say whatever you want to say, and you can move as freely as you need to. So people who tell me that they don't need it really need to change that mindset or really the phrase in itself and just say that you just don't know much about it to even compliment them. So allow me to encourage you to do the best you can in this subject. And you'll see how it will pay off in dividends, not just in social sense, but in the financial sense too.
Right. And that was another question I have. Like, do you advise people with like investing and things like that?
I do. I'm not going to say that I'm an investor wholeheartedly, but the mathematics behind investing, yes. Einstein once said that the formula for compound interest in and of itself is the most powerful force in the universe. That he who understands it earns it, but he who doesn't pays it. He's absolutely right, because compound interest is involved in investing, in interest, but also the other side of that, the losses that you can incur in that realm as well. So if you understand that formula and that concept, you can use it to your benefit. Make money on top of the money that's just sitting there. Or you can lose it if you don't pay off your debt, it'll compound as well there, and you have to pay more in the long term.
And that's a whole nother issue that's affecting our community. So it's like really surprising that people are, you get clients still that are saying like, I don't need this, what I'm going to use this for. In 2022, it's like, man, come on.
Yeah, for real. I mean, depending on the field, like in a more direct sense, maybe I can rock with that. I'll be real with people when they say something like that. But I'll give you an example. I saw a meme about parallelograms saying that, why did I learn about parallelograms in school? Like, I don't need to know this. And perhaps so. Day to day, you're probably not going to use a parallelogram, but in reality, you actually do, because your GPS probably uses that the way a parallelogram is set up in terms of the GPS, how to travel. It uses it in that way. Or the buildings that you work in, live in, play in, they're built like parallelograms. So people who understand that concept built it for you, so it won't collapse on you while you're in it. So somebody had to learn it, so you can just have the luxury to be up in there and whine about not
exactly. And that's a huge thing, you having the luxury to live how you live because of all these people that do know. Like, shout out to Dr. What's her name, Gladys West with the GPS.
Yes. I actually got to she was being interviewed and I was there to ask her a few questions about that. It was cool.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, I got a video of that. I make sure I say that.
I know she was amazing.
Yeah, man, a lot of history. I bought her book, a lot of experiences, a lot of
me too.
Stay alive as long as you can, man.
Yes. Yeah, she is definitely one of our national gems. So cool, man. This is so awesome. Like, I'm learning so much in this interview. So what advice would you give to like a math student or somebody who wants to even start in math, like a high school student who hasn't figured out what they want to do, but they're good at math like you, they've always excelled. And even someone who's in college about to graduate. Like like I always ask my guests, like, what is something that you wish someone told you?
I would say to hang around people who are smarter than you. So a part of that is realizing that you're not as smart as you think you are. So it is a humbling process at the same time. And then just hang around them, ask them questions and just kind of see what they do, get a feel for how they operate. Because in fact, they are smart. Okay, cool. Now, what are they doing that's different from what you're doing that puts them in that position? And you can bear witness to all of that. So ask them questions, hang around them, and you'll see for yourself. A part of that would also be mastering the subject as well. So being around them or being in close proximity to them will then give you that influence to want to do it yourself. So what you've done is put yourself in an environment where you get nothing but smart people. You're hanging around people who just want to go get. And then that's how it works, as opposed to being in an environment of people who don't want to do that. Environments do affect our being, contrary to popular belief.
Of course.
So yeah, if you don't hang around smart people, guess what? You're not likely to be all that smart. It's not a diss. It's not trying to make fun of people. It's just a reality situation. So yeah, hang around smart people, please.
That's a life tip. That ain't true. That's for everybody. I love that. I think I saw Will Smith say something about that. Like, you become the 5 people that you're around, and that's so true. I know for sure. Like, I've always made it my business because my dad was very he always had older friends, like guys that could be like his father, but he learned so much, and they would just like pour into him. So I kind of was like that too, not necessarily all of them older, but just maybe more advanced in something that the career path that I wanted to take, or so I always tell students, definitely shadow someone. Like, people, I love to talk about themselves. So definitely, gain all that knowledge. And not everybody, but a lot of people do. And, you won't, closed mouths won't get fed. So if you don't ask, then, that's a really good tip. I love that. So I so appreciate you for joining me today. Is there anything else you want to share? I definitely want you to tell folks where they can find you, how they can sign up for your services. And I'm going to link all of your handles and your websites and all those things in the description box for this video.
Okay.
So you could definitely go ahead and tell them as well.
All right, cool. Well, you can find me on social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube at the Black Math Academy for all three. My contact information is on all three platforms as well. Just check out all the descriptions in those various places and you can find it that way. You can email me. That's all there as well. All the ways it takes to communicate these days: Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, text, email,
Right.
Facebook, DM. I mean, do all of that. I even get people just want to DM me at like 11 o'clock at night, help for a math question, which is perfectly fine with me.
Hey, but you got to be careful with that though, because that can burn you out.
Oh yeah, only once in a while. Yeah, you're right, because I be wanting to go to bed sometimes. But
yeah, because I definitely get those emails from some of my clients. Like, I got an interview tomorrow. Can you help me with this? I'm like, yo, you knew about this interview?
Yeah,
at least a week or a couple days. So but I'm like you. Like, I definitely accept things through email, DM. I have systems in place. Some people don't follow the systems. I'm okay. But yeah, so cool. So again, thank you so much. And definitely I want you to share anybody you think who would be great for the platform. I really would love to get some more math folks on here.
Okay, yeah.
People in some math careers and things like that. So yeah. So guys, thanks for joining us. Again, the first Saturday of every month at 10 a.m. here on Instagram and Facebook, Mytris Consulting LLC. Please comment, like, share, subscribe, share with someone, especially the Black Math Academy, because people are always asking for tutors and help with math, right? So refer him, share, and let us know some more careers that you would like to see on the platform. And as you can see, you can take STEM, entrepreneurship, and 9 to 5. You don't have to choose. You can do both or do one or the other, either way. But don't limit yourself. No ceilings, as I always like to say. And yeah, we'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you so much, Oneil. And I will definitely be connecting on social media now. I got a new Instagram friend. So thank you guys.